What up, y'all? It's Chris Weathers, aka Shorty C94, back at you again with some more sneaker-related content. We are back with episode 114 of Shorty Sneaker Conversations, featuring our guest Crispy and Clean. We'll see if we can get him. What's up, Tierra88? Gotta have you on here soon. What's up, Shano? Sir Chuck84, Dog Buster. Let's see if we can get our guest. What's up, Loves Jones? How are you? Black Tom Hagen, welcome, welcome. Good to see everybody. L. Nicole. All right, V Faded, what's going on? And we've got Crispy and Clean right now.
Hold on, we got to switch this around real quick.
What's up, L. Jones 313? Risa, what's up? 140 Amsterdam, Light Eyes 41. What's going on? Welcome.
Got it.
What's up, man? How you doing? Man, you know, just another day here in the city, man. Trying to see what's up with you.
Okay. Same thing.
Got you. All right. What's up, Thuggins36? Well, everybody knows who you are, but you want to introduce yourself to the people who may not.
My handle's Crispy and Clean from Pittsburgh.
Okay. Okay. Pittsburgh, huh? What's up, Keandra? All right. So I saw you with the Steelers stuff on. I mean, me being from Cleveland, I couldn't post you with the Steelers outfit on the flyer. You know, I didn't want people to think I was affiliated by mistake. You know, but it's cool. It's cool. No hate. No hate. All right. Well, before we get into the show, sir, I do have to ask, what's the most important thing or the best thing you've been able to take from the world since the pandemic started?
Family.
Okay. Okay. Like spending more time or just, you know, that?
Yes, sir. A lot of people left, you know what I mean, this past couple years.
Right. Right. I got you. I got you. I respect it. I respect it. Okay. Well, let's just dive right in. You know, we'll start with sneaker origins. What's your first sneaker memory or sneaker moments?
I mean, probably getting my first pair of Jordans.
Okay.
Was actually the ones.
Okay.
I mean, that was the breaker for me.
That was just back when the ones like first came out, or was it?
Yes, sir. I'm a little bit older, you know what I mean? But yeah, 85, Christmas of 85, so I got my first pair.
Okay. All right. So the ones is what started it. Okay. That's a great way to start. You know, which pair did you get?
Chicago's.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, what's the kind of the next sneaker that really solidified it beyond the one where you was like, all right, I'm in the sneaker life. This is what I'm doing.
I was always an Air Max 1 guy too, though, growing up.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you said that's the next sneaker that kind of. All right.
Air Max 1 was probably, yeah. I mean, I always loved them growing up. They was always comfortable. I liked them because they had the art support, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They come with the little things. You put them in the side. And yeah, I remember that.
Yes, sir.
Nice. 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 Now, what's the sneaker you loved from let's say from the late 80s that you wouldn't necessarily rock with now? Or is there one?
No, not really. A lot of the Nikes, I think 80s was the best era for Nike, actually.
Okay.
There weren't too many that I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Well, let me rephrase that. The 80s forms was like bricks.
Right. It's a few.
He wasn't comfortable.
Oh, my bad. What was you saying? I didn't mean to cut you off.
The 80s forums, though, were uncomfortable and like bricks wearing them. So
yeah,
that's probably the only one of the 80s I wouldn't rock with.
Yeah. For me, I'll say
that is you can't be playing in those, you know?
Nah. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say it's a few that they brought back where I wasn't really that thrilled with the quality or the comfort. When they brought out the Air Revolution, or whenever they bring back the Flight 89, sometimes the quality can be kind of questionable.
Different. Yeah. A lot of stuff is different now, though.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay. Well, we jump ahead to the sneaker teen years. Do you remember the first sneaker you bought with your own money, like when you started working?
Yeah, I think it was the Aqua 8.
Nice, nice. That's another good one to start.
90, yeah, that was like 93, I think, to be exact.
Yeah, yeah, 93. Okay, okay. What made you go with those?
I just love the colorway.
Yeah, to me,
That's my favorite of the eights. Actually, is the Aquas.
yeah, it's a near perfect shoe for me. So I'm with you. I'm with you. Now it's the early '90s, and you're copping kicks now. Who were like some of your style influences back then? You like was somebody famous or anybody around you?
Well, obviously, Mike,
Obviously.
the GOAT, of course. No, I mean, I just did my own thing. You know what I mean?
I got you. I got you. Now with the eights, like what clothing brands were you wearing back in high school when you started buying your own stuff?
Ooh, some Boss. Well, obviously Levi's. Oof. A little bit of polo here and there when you was lucky.
Right.
But yeah, mainly just like the Boss jeans and the Levi's. A little bit of Guess too. Guess was popping back in.
It was. It was. You might be the first person on this show that said Guess. A lot of people forget how big Guess was in the 90s.
Right.
So yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, did you hoop back then too? Did you play any ball?
Yeah, I still try to play here and there now, but it's just the knees ain't working with me no more though.
Yeah. No, I feel it. I feel it.
My knees ain't working.
Now, I'll say my favorite shoe from that era to play in was the CB94. But did you have a shoe you like to play in, or did you play in your Aquas?
Yeah, I loved the air flights too, the 89s. I like playing on those a lot. The Maestros was nice back then too, and the solo flights. When I got was in high school. Like if you was hooping, and that's what you was hooping in, because they were lightweight. You know what I mean? That's why I like those.
Yeah, the Maestro and the solo flight were so similar, but I feel like the Maestro gets more of a nod just because Scotty wore it. But
Right.
that solo flight was nice too. I mean, if they actually yeah, they retroed that black and white one, or I used to have the all gray one with the blue, like
the blue, the gray with the blue. Yeah, like the Georgetown color ones. That was my favorite colorway for those.
Yeah, I used to have those. Yeah, if they came back with those, I'd have to have them, and then the big Nike Air on the back. That's always a nice little touch. Now, what sports teams were you rocking with back then?
Well, obviously the Steelers, but I like the Bears. For their little run in the '80s, and then obviously the Bulls, because Mike once again. But mainly all the Pittsburgh teams. I always was a Pittsburgh fan, but my favorite team of all time is the Yankees. So.
Okay. All right. Now, with you being a Pittsburgh native, I do have to ask you, why don't you think y'all have an NBA team?
Because I don't think people will go to it.
Really?
Not with the Steelers.
Okay. Because I don't know if they still do, but I know when
Pittsburgh's a football city, though. Like, period.
You said what now? That's a football
city. Pittsburgh is a football city, though, period.
I get you. Because like I said, when LeBron was on the Cavs before he went to Miami, we would play some of our exhibition games in Pittsburgh. And yeah, it's like I always wonder why they never. Because I feel like in Cleveland, we don't have a hockey team, and we have like the minor league hockey, but we don't have an NHL team, but we have an NBA team, you know. And I feel like Pittsburgh, having spent time there and being from Cleveland, they're not far apart. They're similar cities. Why one will work over the other? Because the Browns are still the number one team in Cleveland, even with the Cavs having won a championship and the Indians almost winning the World Series a couple times. But you know, so I feel you. I feel you. But I've been meaning to ask somebody from Pittsburgh, like, how come there's no NBA team there? But you don't feel like people.
Well, Pitt had a good basketball team for a while through like the early '90s or like the late '90s and the early 2000s. Me and my buddy go all the time, but it's now Pitt basketball isn't like Pitt basketball from 10 years ago. You see what I mean? Like, you could even see with the attendance, it's not like crazy like it used to be. I just went to the NC game, UNC versus Pitt, a couple of weeks ago, and it was like a half crowd.
Really?
And that's North Carolina. Like,
yeah.
So it's just basketball. I think Pittsburgh is just a football city, period.
Got you. Okay. Well, we'll touch more on the Steelers in a little bit. But
yeah, let's not.
You said let's not?
Not this season.
Oh, well, I mean, y'all still had a winning record. We didn't even have a winning record. Came close.
We're building now, man. I grew up, it was, you know what I mean, chips and playoffs every year. Now it's going to be like this for a while, I think, till we rebuild.
You know, it's crazy. I'll just talk about the Browns and Steelers for a minute. Before we got turned into the Ravens and had to wait for the Browns to come back, I feel like we used to trade off decades with y'all. Like, y'all was better than us in the 90s, but we was better than y'all in the 80s. Y'all were way better than us in the 70s, but we was better than y'all in the 60s. And it just kind of goes back and forth. But y'all have had us for a couple of decades now.
Yeah, it's back and forth. It's back and forth.
You know, but I don't know. I mean, as much as I'm a Browns fan, being from Cleveland, I mean, I live in North Carolina now, but, you know, I have to give y'all respect because y'all are a well-made, well-ran franchise, you know. And
right.
I do mess with Tomlin, even though I'm rooting against y'all when we're playing y'all, because that's still one of the biggest rivalries in the NFL. It just fucks me up that the Bengals are good now. That kind of fucks up everything.
Yeah, I ain't a Bengals fan either.
Yeah, because people are like, oh, well, since you're from Ohio, you should be rooting for Cincinnati. And I'm like, nah, I'm from Cleveland. You know,
no.
it's not the same. Like, you know, I actually I wanted Buffalo to win. I didn't want Cincinnati to win, you know. So,
yeah, me
you
too.
know, it's just like, nah. Shout out to Cambridge, 2 Cakes, I Kicks, people joining. How y'all doing? Oh, man. Well, you know, we're kind of breezing through. We're already kind of at the halfway point of the show. So I usually do a thing called either or, where I ask you either or questions. And I'm going to start with the Pittsburgh question. Would you rather, if the Steelers couldn't win and you had to choose between the Pirates and the Penguins, who would you rather win a championship?
Penguins.
The Penguins over the Pirates. Okay.
For sure.
Why?
My man needs another championship.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Why would
you get one more though? Put together.
Okay. All right. So on the shoe, would you rather have bread or UNC on the shoe?
Ooh. I'm an OG guy though, so I'll definitely have to go with the bread then.
Okay. If you had to choose between Vans or Chucks, which one are you choosing?
Chucks.
Chucks over Vans. Okay. Lineup or raffle?
Lineup.
Okay. 80s kicks or 90s kicks?
80s all day.
80s all day. Okay. Okay. So, segueing into that, Jordan 1 specifically, red or royal?
Royal.
All right. Why?
That sweatsuit.
What, from the ad?
You remember the when he was standing in the
Airstrip.
on the takeoff,
Yeah.
right, with the sweatsuit.
Yeah.
Sold.
Okay.
Yeah, sold right there.
Okay. All right.
That's still one of my favorite posters, even too, the old school poster.
Okay. Jordan before baseball or Jordan after baseball?
Before.
Before. Okay. Okay. All right. 80s hip hop or 90s hip hop?
I'm gonna go with 80s again.
Okay. Okay. I respect it. All right. Now, this last question isn't an either or question, but give me one shoe you would retro that hasn't, that you would like to see come back.
Ooh. Out of anything that I haven't, that I haven't seen in a while?
Yeah, anything.
I think we were just talking about that solo flight too. I don't even remember the last time that was retro. It was like, was that 15 or 16 maybe?
Yeah, and I think even then, it wasn't like a regular shoe. Like, you couldn't just get it.
It wasn't. Yeah, it didn't look like the original one. That is one of the ones like I liked from growing up as a kid. I would like to see that because they did Maestro again too, didn't they? The red and black ones.
Yeah, the Pippen Warner All-Star game. Yeah, they did the two. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I mean, it's a couple that I'd like to see come back. Like, I know that they're just never gonna retro because it's gonna be no money into it. But like, let me see if I can pull it up. There's one that I want to come back. I have on my computer here. Bring it up. It should still be saved from the last show, but it's a Max. It's the Air Max 294. It's never been retroed. It's white, gray.
I know which ones the Tunes Air ones are though. I'd have to see the colorway.
Yeah, though. I'm just waiting for this. Now this computer wants to update. But okay. Well, I'll show it in a little bit. We'll jump right ahead to the sneaker game in present day. And we'll start with something a little difficult. What's the hardest L you've taken in the last maybe 3-4 years? Sneaker you really wanted, you just wasn't able to get.
Probably the Chicago one.
Okay.
It's like I didn't get them in 15, and I just didn't get that lost and found again too.
Yeah.
That's just like the most for me. Like, I'm not saying my favorite shoe, but it's just that's the one that brings back the memories because that was my first Jordan ever.
Yeah, and it's the one that he wore the most that rookie season, and
right.
He wore it.
I'm finally so glad they made the twos. People hate twos. I love twos.
I've always liked it. That commercial. You remember the commercial? Doing the windmills
with the white. Yeah, he had the white sweatsuit on too. That's still one of my favorites too.
Yeah, it take me right. I mean, I was a kid, but I remember that commercial like right back in.
You see the box?
Look at you.
It's the box right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that did a really good job. I mean, these are way better than the 2004 or 2010 pair.
Yeah, everything, shape, everything. See, like I said, because growing up, too, I didn't have the twos. I only had the ones. And then I went to the threes. But Mom says, couldn't afford the twos back then. So I didn't get them. But this one I had to have. Because all the other ones were just, they weren't the OG. The 2004s weren't. The 2010s weren't. They were all off. The white and reds were close to OG, but still the toe box was different. There was just different things about them that weren't OG.
Yeah, because even the 2010 pair, the way that the Nike tab on the back is red instead of black, at least the 04 pair was black with the red Nike, but that piping, it fucks everything up. and the shape. And
I see a lot of guys cut the piping off too.
Yeah.
Like I think there were like the sneaker, you know, like the guys who mess around with them like that, like recreating them. But there was a couple guys that cut theirs off, their piping.
Yeah. Like I really feel you though. That Chicago, it was a tough L. Like I have a pair from '94. Like I got them, you know, for cheap, 95. They're only like $50, but I really wanted a new pair because I didn't buy the 2015 pair. That's a regret because I could have had them for cheap.
I had the 94s, and I think I sold them in 2000, 2001 maybe. And now I wish I never would have sold them.
Yeah. For me, I just wish I would have.
That stock sitting for years. I was just going to keep them, and I sold them because I was offered a lot of money, so I took it. But I'm mad I got rid of them now.
Yeah, I wish I'd have been smart enough to keep the box.
That would have been big money.
Yeah, the big retro card. Like I really wish I would have kept the box. But so I was 14, 15 getting those things. So they were. I knew what they were, but I didn't think of the collectorism of it. But I do consider that when my collection started. So.
Right.
Okay. Well, we'll flip it. What's the biggest win that you feel like you've gotten? I've seen some wins on your page. You know, what's the biggest one for you?
Well, I got the Travis Lowe's probably.
I got those two. I think we got the same.
Right. That was on that restock that they did, actually.
Yeah, I actually got my pair right here because I was thinking about selling them, but yeah, it's just, you know, only thing they gave me like that ever.
Right. Oh, I got way more losses than I got wins on sneakers. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a pretty big win. You know, Travis Lowe's with the fragment.
Sure.
Shout out to everybody joining. What's up, Court? All right.
But I am an OG guy. I don't like. I mean, I have a couple that are non-OG colorways, but I'm mainly an OG guy. I stick to what it was back then, growing up.
I've noticed. I appreciate that. Now, what's that holy grail, that shoe that you want like bad, but you just haven't got a chance to get it or touch it yet? Is there a shoe like that for you?
Legend of Summer 3.
Ooh, with all that's a hell of a grail.
This is way out of my price range.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake, Jay-Z. Ooh, yeah.
I mean, you asked for a grail. I'll give you a grail right there.
That with that red and the that's a hell of a grail. I'm not.
Well, 3 is my favorite silhouette, but you know what I mean. Also, so yeah, that's just untouchable, in my opinion.
Yeah. Those Recon guys could build you that pair for less than $3K. Shout out Souls and Things, always coming through. Okay. So right now, out of all the shoes you have, I know you got a lot of shoes. What's your go-to shoe? That shoe that's like, all right, you know, I'm gonna fuck them up today with these. You know, what's that shoe for you? Where you like?
It's a beater. Are you saying like a beater shoe?
No,
just to kick around.
Like a go-to shoe to really like that I'm stepping out tonight shoe. Not necessarily a beater.
Threes.
That's
my three's my favorite silhouette though. So
okay. Oh, all right. So white cement or black cement?
See, now you got me off guard here. Depends on the situation.
Nah, I feel it. That
the
white cement
for the all-time best dunk contest of ever, white cement. But black cement if I'm just kicking it type thing.
I got you.
They're both the best colorway though.
Yeah, I mean they're light years above the True Blue and the Fire Red. I mean, I didn't even try to get the Fire.
I love the Reds though. See, a lot of people didn't like the Fire Reds neither. I love the Fire Reds. I think they were sleepers.
Yeah, to me,
and this year got a good one too.
It's about.
Finally.
But what's that?
I said this year we finally got the good one on the retro that they just did this year too.
Yeah.
Back to the OG.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Probably the closest out of all of them. Even the white cement from a few years back. I think this fire red's like the closest you're gonna get to the OG too. From the height of the back, the height of the cement around the front toe, everything.
Yeah.
Everything's pretty much point on with those ones.
Yeah.
Even the color.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, these white cements are going to be a problem. It's the only shoe I really want. It'd be nice to have another playoff 13.
I don't know how I feel like with that aged look though. Like already, I just let it age itself. That's the way I feel with that. But I mean, I could dig it, I guess. But I'm still gonna try to get it, obviously.
Yeah, all of my white cements aren't wearable anymore, so I really need these.
Yeah, so I had to pay a lot for them because I didn't get them when they first came out, so I got banged up pretty good on those ones.
Yeah,
but I kept those nice and clean.
I got you. Now, would you stick in the OG colorways? This is probably a no, but do you feel like you've ever succumbed to sneaker hype?
No.
Figured as much. Okay. All right. So this may be easy. This may be hard, but what's the shoe that everyone loves nowadays? Don't really rock with.
The Yeezys.
Yeah. Okay. It's probably the most common answer I get for that question on this show. Yeah.
I mean, everybody says they're comfortable, but I'm a Nike guy too, though, I guess. And I always loved Hirachis too, growing up.
Right.
So there ain't really nothing that grabs your foot like a Hirachi does. And those were way ahead of their time. Back then, because you figure Hirachis were out in 89, 90-ish, I think. What's the first drop for the runners?
I think
90 maybe? Yes. So those are way ahead of their time.
Yeah, because I remember the ad had to have you hug your foot today. That was the slogan on the ad.
Right.
So, okay. Now, what's the shoe everyone hates that you love?
I would say a 13.
Okay. Huh.
Well, around here, a lot of people don't like 13s. I've always liked the 13.
I don't feel like it gets the love that it used to get. I feel like the 13 used to love, but over the last maybe 3-4 years, it's kind of waned a little bit. And I do feel like all of these ones we've been getting lately have just been samples from 97, 98 that they just didn't make.
Didn't make, right.
No. I feel like they're starting to do that more and more. I also feel that way about those 2.7s that just came out with the Nike Air. I feel like that was supposed to be Bordeaux, that olive, and then the other one. Like, I feel like we're getting a lot of samples now. They're just making into shoes. So,
yeah, he's getting a little bit too. There's just too much every weekend too. It's just, and it's a lot of it's you're making. I just seen something today for the 11s. It was like a Neapolitan pack.
Yeah, I seen that.
You're killing the classic. Like 11 isn't one of my favorite, but I mean 11's iconic still, and you're murdering it. You know?
Yeah. I guess I like that they're doing stuff for the ladies, but I wish the stuff they did was just a little different.
Yeah, a little bit better. At least they're cleaner or something.
Like, how is there not a white, all pink or a white and pink 11, or all purple 11, or white and purple 11? Like, but I don't know. I do feel like this though, and you may agree, you may not. I feel like they come out with all the stuff we want, and they just put it in like this Area 51 space in the back. Like, nah, this is too good. We can't come out with this yet. We need to come out with this. You know, if we get like how we got 2015 and 16 when the Yeezys was taking over, we need to have shit for those times. Kind of like, you know, I do feel that way. Like, nah, this is too good. We can't come out with this yet. So, okay. So you only wear Nike?
Do I only wear 90s?
Nike. You only wear Nike?
Oh no, I have other stuff too. I got a couple Adidas here and there. I still like the forums. Like I said, it was just something back then. They were like a brick.
Yeah.
But I still have a couple forums. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones I have. I still got a couple D Doors too.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know about D Doors.
They don't.
That's our age bracket, but they're bringing them by like actually the Raekwon ones are real nice.
Man, if I get the purple one,
I have a pair of D Doors too.
Yeah. I feel like the forum is Adidas' Jordan 1. By the way, I feel like they're using it as such. They have the OG high, then they have the mids and the lows, and I feel
right.
Like the same. So, oh man, yeah. Shout out to Shano. Okay. As we jump to sneaker future, I know you got a lot of kicks. You got a nice collection. What direction would you like to see your collection go in the future?
Downsized. Yeah, I'm running out of room now, so
yeah.
I pulled off a good amount years ago, but yeah, it's either bigger room or less shoes. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet.
You know me, I'm a glutton. It's one of my biggest character flaws. That's why I have the collection I have, because I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna get all the colors. But I need to have every OG Jordan that he wore. I need to do this. So I feel you.
That's what I'm really into now. I just want all the OG colorways that I liked and just a few select ones that I'm trying to keep. And that's it. I ain't trying to go crazy no more.
Yeah. Shout out Dre.
And plus they're flooding it every weekend, like I said too. There's so much stuff coming out. You can get 2 or 3, 4 cops a week. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You're at $1,000 right there,
And see, I feel like we're going into another Jordan cool-off period to where unless it's like that shit, it's going to be there.
Right.
Like, as iconic as the playoff 13s are, they've only been retro once in 2011. I feel like people are going to buy them, but they're not going to buy them.
And I just got those. This past summer, I just bought them. Right.
Oh.
Dead stock, too, from a good friend of mine, actually. So I don't think I'm going to get the new ones now since I got them.
Yeah. Like, my pair is okay. It's not in the best shape, but it's not beat or anything. It's just they look like they're from 2011 because I feel like, I feel like between 2010 and 14, it was kind of hit or miss how the quality was going to be on your specific pair. Some pairs.
Yes, sir.
But again, because there are so many other black 13s that have come out in just the last 2 years, they're going to sell, but I don't think that they're going to sell like that.
Yeah, they're sitting. A lot of even them 13s, the UNC ones are all sitting here too.
Yeah, that's a good one. See, I feel like the only surefire home run shoe for this spring is the 3.
I also like that women's blue and yellow, the reverse laning.
Yeah. See, that could be, but the fact that it's a ladies' release, we don't know if it's going to be extended or not. To me, that kind of takes away from it. If it was just a regular release for everybody, that would be something.
Right. The leather looks good on it from what I've seen, so but we'll see too when it comes out.
I like it better.
Because there was a couple of ones recently the leather was not too good on them.
Nah. I mean, it's better than that shit they put on the Dunks, but it's still not that great of leather.
Yeah, the Dunks are like a hard plastic. That's what that feels like.
Oh, man, it's like vinyl. Well, I mean, I guess before I even got to ask, we've already kind of talked about it, but is there anything else that's on your radar next other than the 3 maybe?
Yeah, I did like that, like I said, that one also, the reverse laney, but there was something coming out in March too. I don't know what that was.
Now, I got one for you that I'm going to buy, but I know nobody's going to care about it. Those cool gray sixes, the white and gray, like I know
Yes, I did.
I'm going to have them, but I know that they're going to be around. They're not going to fly.
That's the shoe. That's the one you say you love the sixes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, and now that I think about it, see the old man in me is like, well, you got the Tinker sixes and those white and gray sixes from 2019. Do you need these two? But they're still different enough where I could justify having them. So,
Right.
but I know they're going to be just like how the Stealth 12s were, the gray and white 12s, where they're going to just kind of be around until they're not. So, shout out Tasha, shout out Soul Chase 85. Okay. Before we close it down, do you have any questions for me?
Vice versa too. How you asked me, what would you do with the '80s or the '90s shoes?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with the '80s as well.
Right. I just think there's so much more to choose from the '80s.
Dynasty, the Air Force One, the Terminator, the Jordan 1, the Dunk.
And mostly, all those are all classic. Period.
Yeah.
Too.
Air Max 1, Air Max Light. I refer to it as the Air Max 89, but the Air Max right between the 1 and the 90. I love those.
Yes.
I'm out with them over here. They're usually overseas, but I love that model. The Revolution, the Flight 89, the Jordan 4, Jordan 3, Air Force 3, Air Force 2.
The Deltas.
The Delta Force, the Alpha Force 2, the first Reebok pump, the really high one, the Avia 840. I mean, it's so many classic silhouettes that came out. The Solo Flight, the 89 one. Give me the 80s. I mean, the 90s really have more, but for my personal preference, just give me the 80s. Yeah, the Vandal too. JC Happy. Thank you. Yeah, I love that silver, red. Yeah. In fact, I might wear that silver, red, and blue Vandal here soon. Just because it was in the comments. I might have to break those out. But yeah, give me 80s. Give me 80s. That was tough though. That was tough.
For sure.
Well, I'd be remiss if I asked where do y'all go from here as far as the black and yellow? Where do y'all go? Cleveland, we're still in limbo. We don't know what we're gonna get from the shot. Where are y'all going though?
It's rebuilding right now.
Okay.
Yeah, they need to get together.
Yeah. I feel like because y'all are who y'all are, I don't know if some sort of high-profile quarterback will be able to step in. I know it's more than just that, but to me, I still feel like y'all are feeling it without Ben. So,
Of course.
So leaves y'all quarterback for a long time.
That calls too from the offensive coordinator. He makes some crazy calls too. So
yeah. Listen, Chris, I appreciate you for being on here, man. Thank you so much
for having me too.
Oh, no problem, man. Well, before you go, you want to give out your socials so people on here can follow you?
Yeah, it's Crispy and Clean on Instagram.
Yeah, make sure and give this fine shoe collector here a follow. You won't be disappointed. Definitely one of my favorite pages to check out. So, thank you again for being here, sir. And we're going to go ahead and close it off. Everybody thank you for joining in. Thank you for everybody in the chat. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, man. Have a good night, everybody. Peace.
All right, you too.
All right, man. Peace.